Hello guys, and welcome to this video. So in this video I'm going to share with you the difference between qualitative research and also quantitative research. Now for those that are watching for the first time, maybe you want to be receiving this kind of content, this kind of videos, and maybe you're thinking about trying to understand what research is all about and how should you go about conducting a particular research and all that. But before I get and just dive into the aspect of the differences between qualitative and also quantitative, I just want to first of all reinforce the importance of understanding research methodology as well as statistics. So you are maybe in your third year and also in your final year, for example. This is a requirement by many other, within Zambia, many institutions like colleges and also universities. So it is required by every university if you are pursuing a degree in any field of the study. So this could be biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, or even law, business, administration, accountants, and all that. Now, what you need to understand is that when you are when you are in your third year, you must be able to propose what kind of research that you are going to do, and also let's say you have to put up a proposal. So from the perspective of putting up a proposal, you must then understand what are some of the methodologies that you must understand, or rather that must be understood in order for me to write a proper research proposal that I can submit to my supervisor or even just to the board of examiners and present my work that I'm thinking that this is what I can do because I see that there's a gap, there's a problem, and this is what I'm proposing. So understanding research methodology is one of the most important things that you should actually start with. And on top of that, any research work must be actually, accompanied by some sort of like mathematical, proofs, and that is statistics. So for those that are pursuing a degree, and this is the reason why you are going to learn research methodology, you also learn statistics. So like, for example, in my field of aquaculture and fisheries, we had research methodology in third year, and also we had in second year biostatistics, and this was meant, or rather was actually put in place to prepare us so that at some point when you now conduct your research, when you're doing your research, because as a scientist, you are required to provide some statistical measurements, okay, and also hypotheses, so that you can either disqualify your claim or rather, qualify the alternative hypothesis. But anyway, so about statistics or just statistics, those are a prerequisite for anyone who is going to conduct a research. So now coming back to the difference between qualitative as well as quantitative, what we need to know is this. Despite the difference, okay, you can conduct any of those, but I want you to put it in your mind that anything that is quantitative research, okay, based, must be done by people that are pursuing biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, even other scientific-based, programs or fields that are experimental based. And something that is qualitative, okay, is normally something to do with social sciences. Those people that are doing law, businesses, those that are doing economics, and any other thing that is socially based. For example, sociology, psychology. So if you're studying psychology, maybe you want to understand why people behave in a certain way when this kind of a thing happens, why people who are spoken against of their governance. If, let's say, for example, you are a politician, you're a supporter of a particular political party, and when the other people says bad thing about this one, you respond very negatively. So such kind of research are very difficult to quantify. Let's say the feeling that you have toward a particular, political party. Maybe you just love somebody who is their leader. Maybe you just love the name. Maybe you just love the thing that they are doing for the people and the thing that they have just achieved over the years. So it is very difficult for you to quantify the love that you have. Very difficult to quantify. Let's say, for example, which color is more powerful than the other. Let's say black and white. It is very difficult to do that. But when it comes to quantitative, okay, meaning a research that you are required to quantify something, the variables must be quantified, something that I can count on. For example, I might be conducting a research, maybe trying to understand the temperatures, maybe the pH level, like what happened at, with Sino Metal Company in Chambishi. I have to understand before the acid went into the water, how much was the pH, okay? And then after that, how much was that the pH? So it is very easy to quantify that and also conclude to say a lower number means that the pH is acidic, and then the higher number means that the pH is also alkaline. So quantitative requires that the variables that are being considered in that particular research, they are quantified. And those that are in qualitative, okay, it is very difficult to, obviously quantify them. So one of the most important things that you need to understand when it comes to that is you must be able to know the field that you are in and the kind of research that you can conduct. However, some of the research that have been conducted before, or that you might conduct, maybe in between, okay, they may involve some people, how they feel about the way what happens to Sino Metal. What do you think the government should do about that disaster of polluting the water? And you also have to go on the ground, collect the water samples, and go in the lab and then check how much, check the water quality parameters, pH, the temperatures, anything, turbidity, and all these other parameters that forms what we call water quality parameters. So all in all I'm saying is that this is a very powerful thing to understand, okay? And once you understand the whole importance and essence of why we conduct research, it's not because I want to pass exams, not because I want to get a distinction, but it's because I want to understand how certain things works, okay? Something cannot be understood, okay, by just looking at them, okay, but some things can be understood by doing them, by going to the lab and see what happens if you react this substance with that, if you react this substance with that, so that you can literally see what is happening, and you can then conclude to say when A, B, C react, or when A plus B a substance or metals react together, this is what we're going to get. So this is all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching, and for those that have been following my videos, liking, commenting, and just reacting to our posts, I really appreciate the support. Please let's keep up the same spirit, and you can share this video to anyone that you might think is going to be interested in this video. Otherwise, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video about research. Thank you, and it's bye-bye.